Hello there. Good day. This is PK Radio, and my name is Emmanuel Kwesi Mensah. And welcome to our Temperament podcast. Would you agree with me that so many marriages or relationships wouldn't have ended if people knew exactly who their partners were? Tell me, would you have reacted the way you did to your partner if you knew his or her temperament type and how it manifests itself? Do you even know your temperament type? Take this all important work with me as we explore together the number of temperaments or the types that we have and how important it is to know our partner's temperament and how we can cohabit together, knowing ourselves. Temperament is mostly understood in terms of the dominant pattern of reaction that we are born with. God has given us a tendency or inclination to react quickly or slowly, intensely or calmly, and to hold on to that reaction for a long or short period of time. Our emotional responses and sociability and prevailing mood are all affected by our inherent or our internal temperament. How quickly do you react to a person or an idea? How strongly do you react when praised or chastised, or when pressed for an opinion? Are you quick-tempered or the easygoing type? Do you tend to look on the bright side, or do you take a more pessimistic approach? Do you tend to mull things over for a very long time before responding, or do you fire off an option off the top of your head? Because our reactions are very habitual, parts of how we are hardwired, we may not even realize that we are thinking or acting or responding in ways that are very typical to our temperament or of our temperament. In fact, all of these actions or reactions are tip-offs to expose us to the kind of temperament that we have. Another indicator or primary distinction between a temperament has to do with extraversion and introversion. Generally, an extrovert is one who tends to focus on and be comfortable with the external environment. The opposite are the introverts. They are very comfortable in the inside, and they're always in their world of personal thoughts and emotions. The cholerics and the sanguines are mostly extroverted type or the extrovert people. They are energized by social interactions and comfortable expressing themselves. Meanwhile, the phlegmatic and the melancholics, they are introverts. And so they need time alone to recharge their batteries and cautious about expressing their thoughts. But the thing is, most of us are a combination or a blend of temperaments. Usually, there's a primary one and a secondary one. What we're going to do today is to look at two types of temperament today, and in our next episode, we're going to look at the other types and probably look at how important it is to know your partner's temperament. So temperament simply is a person's normal manner of thinking, behaving, or reacting. It is how we are wired as people. As I've already said, we have four types. We have the choleric, we have the sanguine, we have the phlegmatics, and we have the melancholy. So the first one that we're going to talk about today is the choleric. So the choleric is an extroverted, hot-tempered, quick-thinking, active, practical, strong-willed, and easily annoyed person. Let me take it again. The choleric is an extroverted, hot-tempered, quickly annoyed or easily annoyed, a quick-thinking person, active, practical, and a strong-willed person. Cholerics are self-confident, they are self-sufficient, and very independent-minded. They are decisive and opinionated, and they find it easy to make decisions for themselves as well as others. Cholerics tend to leave little room for negotiations. The choleric is a visionary and seems never to run out of ideas, plans, and goals, which are usually very practical. The cholerics do not require much or much sleep as other temperaments, so the activities seem endless. So cholerics are people who don't sleep a lot or they sleep little, so they are ever active. You always see them going here or coming here, and so even as we're talking, even as we're speaking, you look within yourself. Are you a choleric? With all these things that we've mentioned so far about cholerics, do you see your partner to be a choleric? How well have you studied yourself to know which kind of temperament you are? How well have you studied your partner to know what type of temperament your partner is having? Let's move on to who they are and how they manifest themselves. The activity almost always has a purpose because they are by nature result-oriented people. Cholerics usually do not give in to the pressure of what others think unless they see that they cannot get the desired result. I know as I'm talking, you are thinking about someone else, you're even thinking about yourself. Yet that is the importance of what we're doing. That is why we are doing this. That is why we are exploring this, to know who we are, or who our partners are, or who our parents are, who our friends are. It's very important to know these things. They usually don't give in to pressure from outside, as I've said, and cholerics can be crusaders against social injustice as they love to fight for a cause. So many of the people out there who are doing advocacy, who are here and there, and SARS people, fix the country, they can be categorized under this type of temperament. Cholerics are both direct and firm when responding to others. They show, or they are slow to build relationships because results tend to be more important than people. These are cholerics. So if you are in a relationship or you've married such a person, his or her mind or idea or her activity, everything is geared towards results, and they see results as more important than people. They do not easily empathize with the feelings of others or show compassion. Cholerics think big and seek positions of authority. So most people who have sought for positions, or who are still seeking, or who seek for positions, as per what we've said, they find themselves under this type of temperament. They are cholerics. So many of them, they don't easily empathize with people. So when you find someone who doesn't easily empathize with people, or show compassion, or show little compassion, you might want to give the person the benefit of the doubt. It might not be that is who he chooses to be. That is what he is, and that's what she is. And so let's endeavor to know them and to appreciate them, because they have other qualities that we can tap from. Every temperament type has got its qualities and its disadvantages. Let me put it that way. And so let's see the better side of all these things. Yes, they can modify themselves. Yes, we can change, but not a major change. Let's make do or make use of the little things that they can do to benefit us and themselves. The next one that we are going to look at today, are the sanguines, or is the sanguine. The sanguines are also extroverted. They are fun-loving. They are activity-prone. They are impulsive. They are entertaining. They are persuasive. They are easily amused and optimistic people. So you can think of Giovanni Caleb. You can see him over there. He's fun-loving. He's activity-prone. He's impulsive. He's entertaining. He's persuasive. He's easily amused and very optimistic. So this is who a sanguine is. Sanguines are very receptive and open to others and build relationships very, very quickly. So contrary to the cholerics, or opposite of the cholerics, when we said that they don't form or build relationships very quickly, the sanguines are the easygoing people. They build relationships very, very quickly. They are animated, they are excited and accepting of others. They will smile and talk easily and often. It is not unusual to feel as if you have known the sanguine person for years after a few minutes, because sanguines are so people oriented that they easily forget about time and are often late arriving at their destinations. They talk a lot before they get to where they are going. They would have spoken with a lot of people. Anybody they meet, they know the person. And they are laughing here, they are easygoing there. These are the sanguines that we're talking about. Right? And sanguines get bored easily because of their orientation of social involvement and activity and general dislike for solitude. So they don't love being alone. They don't love doing nothing. And so they usually get bored when there is nothing to be done, when they are not involved in any social activity or anything in general that makes them happy or perhaps makes people happy. And the sanguines never lack friends. Their attention span is based on whether or not they are interested in the person or the event. So people that maybe we go for events with, or even our partner that we speak to, when we're talking to a partner and you seem that he or she is absent-minded, then maybe the person is not interested in you or the event or what you are talking about. So let's know people and know what they're interested in. So a person who is a sanguine, you should know that this is what they are interested in. So we always talk about those things to make them or bring them to the party, so that we ourselves that we are talking to them, we will feel belonged. Because if they're not interested, they're not going to pay attention to you. The sanguine can change their focus or interest in an instant. So as I said, if they're not interested, the attention span shifts to a different interesting thing. Sanguines are competitive and tend to be disorganized. Unless very disciplined, the sanguine will have difficulty controlling their emotions. They usually like sports of any kind because of the activity and the involvement with other people. Their voice will show excitement and friendliness. Sanguines usually dress according to current fashion. So, the fascinators, those who love fashion, mostly, not all of them, but mostly are sanguines. Remember, I told you that we have the primary and the secondary temperaments. We are a mix of a whole lot of temperaments, and some are secondary, some are primary, and so that is it. And so they usually dress to fit the occasions, and they fear rejection or not making a favorable impression. So they are always thinking about how to impress, and they fear that if I don't do it well, I'm going to get rejected, and they fear rejection. And they also fear others viewing them as unsuccessful. Sanguines are very effective working with people. So these are the two types that we're going to treat today, or we are going to look at today. We've looked at the cholerics, we looked at the sanguines. We said that the cholerics, they are independent people, they are quick thinking people, they are hot tempered, they are active people, they are practical, they are strong willed, and they are easily annoying. They easily get angry. They are visionary people, just that they show little to less emotions and compassion for people who are going through what they're going through. And you've talked about the sanguines, who are fun-loving people, who are activity-prone, who are impulsive, entertaining. They are persuasive, they are easily amused, and they are optimistic kind of people. Because of these things, they usually forget about themselves. They lose attention or focus on what they are doing. So these are the two types that we're going to treat today. In our next episode, we're going to treat the other two types that we have. With these two types, have you seen yourself in there? Have you identified your partner's temperament or your partner's personality in there? Let's look out for these things in our partners, in people that we deal with, so that we can easily get to know them and live better with them. Let's meet next time for the next types. Thank you.